Hi guys, this is Ritesh. Welcome to your face reading channel, and this is a different background that you experience from the usual videos that I do. And why is that? Is because in today's video, I have a list of frequently asked questions, the most asked questions on the web around face reading, and I'm trying to get to answer those questions for you just so that you can learn more about face reading as to what face reading can do and how it can help in your life, whether face reading is really accurate. All those things I'm going to answer that for you within this question and within this segment, sorry. And in today's video I have a list of 8 questions that I have extracted from Copilot, that is powered AI by Microsoft. And basis on those questions I'm going to answer what I have with me with respect to the experiences that I have from face reading my clients. I'm going to refer to their readings, and I'm going to share the insights about what I have learned from other face readers around the globe, and thereby I'll help answer these questions so that it can eliminate some of the doubts, some of the myths that you have around face reading. And let's begin without wasting any further time. I have my tablet, and tablet has all the list of questions for you. I just hope that by pressing this more, it doesn't delete it. Right, so I have a list of 8 questions as I have mentioned, and the very first question, that is one of the most searched questions on the web regarding face reading, of course, is what is face reading? So to answer that question for you, face reading is the art of depicting your inner self, your emotional self, your inner mappings, your mappings that you have experienced in your lifetime, and it's a reflection on your face. It's the kind of reading that can help you with respect to gauging what is going inside you, and for a repeated period of time is what marks your face. And a face reader helps reading those emotional expressions and thereby correcting ways as to what you can do better now so that you can have a better present and thereby design a better future of yours. So it's kind of letting you know about yourself in a deeper way, where you get to learn about your elements, your strengths, your emotional strengths, and the challenges that are there to your personality, that are there for your life in work or in relationship, right? So that is what face reading can help you with, or what is face reading is the answer for that. And one of the face readers, I think Jean Hainer, she has a wonderful book, The Wisdom of Your Face. She says that your face is a reflection of your inner self, and by inner self she means the internal emotions that you feel. And that is basically what face reading can do for you, to help you identify your strengths, your challenges of your personality. And there are 5 elements I have talked about in length in some of the other videos on face reading, but each of us relate to 1 or 2 of those elements more than the other 3 elements, right? And once we get to know which element we belong to, we can manifest the best version of ourselves, knowing that strength of ours, right? So that is basically face reading. It's the reflection of your inner self. And how is your face formed is also one of the questions that comes to face reading. And they say that you inherit face from your genetics, and that is true, right? But it is also shaped by how you have experienced certain set of emotions, and that's one of the reasons why even twins are different from each other over the period, because they have experienced different types of life situations, circumstances, which has kind of mapped the expression on the face. And any expression that is marked on the face for a repeated period creates lines on the face, and you get to see the lines on the face especially in the latter years, like in your 40s or something, right? And those are also markings that represents a certain set of emotions that you have felt over the years. And so it's very important as a face reader as well that you identify those markings, identify whether those markings or wrinkles are really good for your health or not. because some wrinkles are really good. Some lines that are spreading from across the eye, they are the joy lines, the humor lines. Some go sad, some are sadness lines. What goes up comes down, but it's important that your lines doesn't mark your cheek area much, because that is an area that represents the breath of life. So a face reader can definitely help you, guide your life towards getting the right set of balances, and thereby pressing those checks that can help you better your life at this present moment, right? So I hope that answers the question on what is face reading, and I'll march on to the next question that I have, and that Copilot has given us. Copilot is nothing but Bing AI formerly, and it's the AI of Microsoft. So I do rely on Bing AI for the research work. Right. So second question that I see is, can face reading reveal personality traits? Right. Let me repeat the question. It is, can face reading reveal personality traits? Yes, it definitely can, because in face reading, especially with respect to Chinese face reading, if I talk about, it is a reading that is based on identifying your primary element, thereby getting you, get your insights about your emotional strengths, your challenges in life, what are the elemental strengths that you possess with respect to relationship, how your primary element induces a sort of work style that suits your personality the best, right? For some of you, it could be that you like to work in freedom. Maybe you like to make your own ways. You need to be creative in nature. Whereas for some, it could be extremely energetic, right? Or kind of competitive self that they desire. And those are all things that you can drive from, face reading. So people who have a strong wood element, they are extremely driven, versus people who are strong water element. You'll find them a lot more laid back, a lot more flowy, a lot more working in the nighttime, or kind of creating the environment that suits the nighttime, and thereby they like to work in that environment. Whereas people who have a strong set of wood, they are the ones who can really wake up early in the morning at 6 a.m. and want to stick to the routine. They want to be pushy, they want to be competitive in nature, and that is how their life is shaped. And if you are a wood person, that suits you. But if you're a water person or dealing with a water person, that behavior may not suit them. That's why it's very important to know the personality traits with face reading, and face reading can definitely help reveal the personality traits. After all, it's one of the ways that you can learn deeper about the person's nature. And herein I want to introduce you to the idea as to how face reading or Chinese face reading was born, or how Chinese have went on deeper into the art to learn about it. So what they have done is they have observed different seasons, like winter. After winter, what comes? Spring comes. After spring, what comes? After spring, summer comes. After summer comes early fall. Then comes late fall. So they have observed the seasons. They have observed the timings of the day. That is, after night time comes morning. After morning comes noon. Afternoon comes afternoon, and after afternoon comes evening, and then night. So they have observed different cycles of the seasons, different cycles of the entire day. They have even observed the cycles of humankind, where a baby is born and is present in the womb. Then it manifests itself into being a child. Then a child goes on to attain the peak of life and stays in its youthful self. Then after youth comes the mid-age, and then after mid-age comes the old age, and then after that comes death, and then rebirth, right? So they have observed the cycles of the day, seasons, humankind. They have observed that all of these flows in a circle. All of these flows in a flow, and each of these phases represents different sets of energies at different points of time. And the part is that the energy of a child is different from an energy of a person who is in old age, right? So they have classified these seasons or energies into 5 major elements. That is the water element, the wood element, the fire element, the earth element, and the metal element. So they have classified these sense of energies into 5 different dimensions, and each of these elements can be traced and mapped on the face, and they all represents a certain set of energies that a person can exuberate, and thereby you can tell about the personality aspect when you learn deeper about face reading, right? So it can, to cut it short, it can definitely help you reveal about the personality traits. And once you are aware about yourself, once you know more about yourself, it is kind of a validation that why you are thinking a certain way, right? And knowing that can let yourself be a lot more aware. And when I work with my clients, oftentimes I do hear this particular thing that I haven't known that much about me. And that can really help, once you get to know it, you really can power your life and power the person that you're reading for. After all, face reading is nothing but it helps bring the divinity out of the person that you're reading for. It helps bring the best out of the person that you're reading for. And if it were to you, you get yourself in the best possible place. If you learn a little bit of face reading, can also help you master yourself or better yourself in like making slight alterations or tweakings that really can help bolster your life, right? So yeah, let me march on to the third question. There are many questions. I'm not sure if I can cover all of them within this video. But yes, the third question is, how accurate is face reading? So I would say it entirely depends upon the reader, right? But it is very much accurate in the sense that what you see on the face, if you're able to map those emotions correctly, it can definitely reveal insights about what you're feeling, about what you're thinking, about what your thinking patterns are. And if you are comparing the elements with respect to the relationship of people, which generally is one of the applications of my readings as well, where I do in-depth relationship reading for my clients, where I compare clients' relationship and how they are likely to do, how they are likely to match, what is their compatibility. If a reader has good intentions to read, and generally people do have, and once they are sure, once they have applied the technicalities of it, yes, intuition does play a major part, and it takes time to learn face reading. One face reader said that it takes 50 years to master face reading. So every single day, if you're contributing towards learning face reading, you can definitely evolve yourself. I have been doing it professionally from the last 8 years across various networks, across my personal website as well. And still I feel that there is a lot to learn. I learn about 5 elements. So whenever I get a chance, every other week, I do tend to read different books about around face reading, around 5 elements in general, because that is one of the most fascinating areas that I feel flowy about. And because I have strong water element into me, I do feel that I need that dose of insights regularly to keep fueling. And of course, because I do engage in frequent sessions with my clients almost every day. So it is very important for me also to keep myself abreast to the knowledge that is there going around face reading, and to keep myself acquainted with that. And yes, it is significantly accurate because your face is like a hologram of the informations that you have experienced in your life. And if a face reader is doing it in a proper way, you can definitely rely on its accuracy. Having said that, every face reader may have a bad day, and this happens with any other profession, right? So if a reader is like scoring 8 on 10 or 7 or 10 and doing good readings, you can consider them a good reader. And with everything, there is a sense of not being accurate or readings not going right, and this is something which does happen, right? But it's very important that you're doing things with the right intention, and you're having the intention that you want to help your client, right? That is the one of the most important things. So if you're getting a reading from somebody, make sure that you're asking questions with them with respect to I would say what they can do, because in face reading or in any of the readings, if you want to go for a reading, there are certain set of limitations that a reading possesses, and so if a reader is letting you know about what they can do and what they cannot do, is going to be something which will help you get more insight about what you can expect from a reading, right? So that is very important. Generally, I tend to refrain from reading about the pregnancy questions, or I don't tend to go about predicting the future timelines, because that is not my expertise. For the future timelines part, maybe a tarot reader or an astrologer can help better. But with respect to face reading, it helps you delve on your tendencies, your emotional strength, your challenges, your compatibility in relationships, what work style may suit you, what you can do now to have a better present, thereby design a better future. So I have expertise on that dimension. But yes, there are readers who can read about the future timelines, which I don't hold expertise in. So it's important that you ask the reader at the first place, whomsoever you're getting a reading with, that what are things that they can cover and what are things that they cannot cover, right? So that is very, very important. So let me march on to the different question now, right? What do different facial features indicate? Okay, so in the bracket it is mentioned like eyes, nose, lips, and forehead. So different facial features represents different set of personality traits. Let's go. Let's say if you want to learn about lips, it represents about the generosity, the compassion part. Your eyebrows represent the thinking patterns. Your nose represents the kind of power that you would like to induce about you to others, right? The forehead represents the thinking part, the analytical part. So all those facial features indicate a certain set of personality traits about you. And it's always important that you see face as a whole rather than the parts of facial traits, because one feature can kind of cut down on other features' strength. So it's important that you evaluate face as a whole, and it's a process which as a face reader you can learn, but it takes time. So it's important that you stick to it to learn face reading, right? So the other question is, can face reading predict relationships? I would say yes and no. Because yes, face reading can help you predict the compatibility analysis of people who are of different elements or even of same elements, and thereby can reflect upon the challenges, the strength that you or your partner possesses, and how much they can be the elevating force for you. Or if you're having a partner who has a strong metal tendency and you have a wood tendency, then by control cycle of the nature, metal tries to control wood. So that partnership can be challenging. So you can pinpoint the ways as to what are the challenges that are there in the relationship, and basis on that you can make insights or give insights to your client. Or if you're experiencing or doing it for your relationship, you can see those challenges and what are the strengths that you confer. But there are certain elements that really are a no-go, which can represent that partnership can be difficult. So yes, you can lay out the compatibility analysis, the suitability factor, the emotional compatibility, the physical compatibility. But it purely, I would say, get your client to have the information, the source of information as to the strength of their relationship with respect to the elemental strengths, and let yourself stick to what you see, right? As a reader, I'm saying this. So you can definitely predict the aspect of compatibility analysis and can see the timeline with respect to how likely is the relationship going to be basis on the elemental comparison, right? So that is what you can do. And yeah, just present the information as a reader. If you're present the information as it is, and then let client use it as a guideline. And it's important that if you're receiving a face reading or any of the readings, use it only as a guideline, but remember to apply your own brains and make sure that you're able to resonate with the reader, because it's very important that you resonate with your reader essentially, to kind of feel or have the trust in what he or she is seeing, right? So that is important. So yes, the other question is, does face reading apply to health? Yes, it does. It can really be used as a diagnosis tool, and in China, that is how the face reading took its birth, because women were not allowed to be touched by the doctors. So doctors used to see the face and thereby put out the diagnosis. And each of these 5 elements that I'm talking of relates to the 5 major organs, and thereby the sub organs or the sub parts in the body, and they do represent the aspect of your health, the current health, and the future health that is likely to be, can be marked on the face. So if a face reader knows about the health analysis, you can ask with them pre-hand to get a reading on your health, right? So that is something which you can definitely ask from them. The other question is Chinese face reading different from other styles? I would say it has more of the side of spiritual aspect into it. I would say it has more of the aspect of offering elemental insights, which I feel is a lot more helpful to me as a reader when I do the readings. But then Western face reading do offers analysis basis on the facial aspect, facial traits, which is also there in Chinese face reading, but it has a lot more I would say esoteric side of it, on the spiritual side of it. So if you want to go around the Chinese face reading, I feel it's going to enhance your learning. But even Western face reading also gives you significant solutions as to how you can proceed with face reading. So it is a lot more trade based Western face reading, whereas Chinese face reading is a lot more nature based, a lot more natural, I would say, because you can relate to the nature's elements as such. So yeah, it is slightly different, but the output is something which I feel is likely to be similar for both of the readings. So yeah, depends on your choice, right? So last question is, can face reading improve my life? Right? I'd like to repeat the last question. Can face reading improve my life? The answer is a big yes. Not that I'm a face reader and I'm trying to boast my services or face reading, but it really does. I have tried or I would say I'm blessed to impact the life of so many of my clients, and I feel that they have experienced a sense of positive growth. And the best part is it lets you have more consciousness and more awareness about yourself, which I feel is one of the most important things to have in life. It lets you aware about your partner's strengths. It lets you aware about what work style suits you the best. It lets you aware about your current emotional state and what slight tweakings you can do if you learn the elemental cycle, the control cycle of 5 elements. Those little changes are something which you can do, which can immediately improve your life in a jiffy. Like small changes like going on a vacation means you are adding more fire energy into your life by following something out of the routine. So those small changes can be recommended by a face reader, and it definitely can improve your life. I feel I tend to see my face almost every other day, and it helps to gauge the fairness meter in me. Fairness meter means how much I'm fair in my life, and it is definitely something which I like to see. And you can definitely learn to master the art of face reading with respect to learning this aspect that I'm talking of about being fair, but it holds very important for me to be fair, and that is the aspect of metal in me that is saying this particular thing. But yes, it definitely can improve your life and relationships, career, in your personal life, in manifesting where you want to go, in manifesting what can suit you more, in getting the answers of why you do certain things which you do, and why your parents may be different from you, and why certain things you may not like of your parents which you like to do. All those answers as to why people are the way they are, you get those answers. And by having the awareness of those answers, you're kind of in a better place, in a better situation to understand that yes, this is why this is happening. And you kind of have that consciousness that that life has its own way of teaching you lessons. But if you're more aware about the face reading or the 5 elements in general, you can gauge better meaning with life and of life. So yeah, that is definitely the thing. I would say yes, it helps improve your life. So I'm done with all the 8 questions. I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comment section if you have any other questions or concerns, and make sure to go and watch the other videos that I have designed on the magic board, where I have explained about the facial traits. On this day, I felt it was important to let you educate about face reading and the most searched questions around face reading. So thank you so much for being there. If you're there with me, you are my absolutely good friend. So take care of yourself. Bye-bye and have a lovely day ahead. In case you feel this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel Face Readings with Nitesh, because it's going to do a lot good for me and for spreading face reading across the board. So this is a small little contribution that I want from you, and if you can do that, that'll be great. So thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a lovely day ahead.